Okay. I am working on my screen. Welcome to Marjorie with Purpose. I've been having technical difficulties since I started. So.
The footage is shows Combs debating.
All right,
Never before seen footage of Sean Diddy Combs in the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September. You want to put stuff in my fan back in? The exclusive video obtained by Netflix shows Combs debating with his lawyers about strategy. Listen to me. I'm going to get off the phone right now, and I am going to let you professionals look at the situation and come back to me with a solution. No matter what nobody said. Let's just here and there, y'all are not working together the right way. We're losing. The footage is part of a new, highly anticipated docuseries by director Alex Stapleton and rapper and executive producer Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs: The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
I'll accept it. I need some hand sanitizer. I got. I've been out in the streets amongst people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do. You know what I'm saying? Oh. It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
I
said, I feel like I need to wash. Like I'm there. That was this to show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, and what's the odds that you would do that in front of a camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right? For 20 years, right? Is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like he was like, it was like a tester. Like maybe you'll come play with me type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to also let people know that the show is not completely the perspectives of people that did not like Sean. We weren't trying to just get the highlights, the salacious details, you know, that the real goal was to storytell. And not everyone needed to have an allegation to be a part of this project. The 4-part series also features 2 jurors from Combs' trial who are speaking for the first time about how they reached their mixed verdict, finding Combs guilty of 2 prostitution offenses, but clear of racketeering and sex trafficking charges, both sharing their thoughts on the relationship between Combs and singer Cassie. Juror 75 describing them as 2 people in love, and Juror 160 saying in part, domestic violence wasn't one of the charges. Cassie, was she a victim in all this?
I believe Cassie's a victim in all this because she came in she's like 18, like 19 years old in the very beginning. After a while, over time, you condition for it.
The goal of what the film is trying to do is to let the audience kind of come in to ask questions like, were their decisions colored by certain things, and who got the benefit of the doubt, you know, in that courtroom?
Do you think that hip hop culture was on trial as much as Sean Combs was?
Not look, if I didn't say anything, you would interpret it as the hip hop is fine with his behaviors. There's no one else being vocal. So you would look at it and just say, because that mind your business, or let me not say nothing about nothing, or those things, it would allow the entire culture to register as if they're for that behavior.
If Sean Combs watches this, what do you think he's going to feel?
Like, wow, this is amazing. I think he's going to say this is the best documentary I've seen in a long time. Because you'll see people saying that. I mean, he may feel a different way about pieces and bits of it, but he knows the truth. I think he'll see the truth in it.
Wow, that was some finish right there.
50 Cent is a super villain because he know daggone well Puffy is not going to watch that documentary and say, wow, this is the best documentary I've ever seen. He's full of crap. He know daggone well. But I wanted to talk about this because I feel like so many people are talking about it, but so many people did not even watch it. And I watched it. I watched every episode, and I'm going to share what I feel like was truly exposed in all of this, who was truly exposed, because me personally, I don't believe that Puffy was the only, or Diddy, or whatever he wants to call himself. I don't believe Diddy was the only villain in this story. So I'm going to share my thoughts. Hit the like button. Subscribe if you have not done so yet. Welcome to Marjorie with Purpose. Look, I've been fighting with this technology since I got on here. So y'all forgive me if I'm a little woosah. But I wanted to show some. We watched 50 Cent. Oh, all that stuff I uploaded. deleted. Oh my gosh. I had a bunch of stuff I wanted to share, but none of it saved. So, okay. Give me a minute. Oh, yeah. Okay, so this Diddy documentary, let me get my was I found it very interesting. I found it very informative, and it was, here's what I think. I think everybody wanted to play victim, but all the people that accused Diddy of something, because they were saying, "Oh, you don't have to be, you didn't have to be, you didn't have to have an accusation to be part of the program," which was some BS because everybody in it that worked with him had some kind of accusation. So 50 Cent is full of crap because I'm certain that they looked for all of the people that had some kind of accusation on Diddy. So more like a vigilante. He wish, because 50 Cent think he a vigilante. He think, but he's a supervillain for sure. He's a disguised as a vigilante. Let me see. Okay, there you go. Y'all, my stuff is crazy. Y'all wouldn't believe me if I told you. I'm not even gonna get into it. But so this Netflix documentary, to me, exposed people's um desire for material things and willing to sell their souls, sell their bodies, men and women, for they were willing to sell themselves and then make Diddy out to be the villain. I'm trying to let me upload some more of these things because this stuff deleted on me. But that's what I saw when I watched this documentary, that he wasn't the only one. And 50 Cent's talking about, oh, I didn't want people to think that hip hop was in agreement with Diddy's actions. Okay. So it took hip hop 30 years to expose Diddy. So we decided 30 years later that we're not in agreement with Diddy's actions. So one of the things that this documentary exposed is that Diddy's fame started when he was initially, that's not what I'm sharing. When he first got into the rap scene, he was an assistant. He started out as an assistant to a music mogul, and he was a dancer. But when he got big, the first thing he did was he became a party promoter and was really good at it. What ended up happening at this college, what was it, City College in Harlem, he promoted this event, and the event was so big that they had to cut off. They weren't allowed to let people in. But what ended up happening is that the people who weren't allowed in started to bombard the doors, and people were trampled. 9 people were unalived. 29 people were injured. So if you Google this was the beginning of his fame. This is what made Diddy famous when he first came on the scene, was this incident. It was a huge party. It was a charity event. He promoted it so well that people, thousands of people came, more than they were able to hold in this facility. But because people were unalived, it became national news. So this is how his fame initially started. And why is this important? Why is this story important? Because if you look at his history, much of his fame, every time someone was unalived, he became more famous. This documentary also gives hints at who was really involved in Tupac's murder, who was really involved in Biggie's murder. And I heard for years that Diddy was involved in the murder, the unaliving of Puffy and Tupac. We heard that for years, but nobody did anything about it or said anything about it until this year. This is the first time I heard any legit accusation or any legit thoughts of people actually saying that they believe that Diddy actually had something to do with Tupac and Biggie's unaliving for multiple reasons. And when you look at him when he was younger, to me, I could look at him and say, I was looking at him like he looked like a nerd. He looked very nerdy. He was nothing special. Let me see if I can find. So Diddy in the 80s, he was a background dancer. So he really didn't have any talent, but he could dance. But if you look at him when he was younger, he was a nerd. So I got the feeling of nerd wanting to be more than a nerd. That's the vibe I got when you look at Puffy when he was younger. So look at this picture of Puffy. He was a nerdy guy. He was nothing special. Y'all, let me tell you, my stuff is acting crazy. I'm trying to share something very specific, but it's not sharing what I'm trying to share. So y'all please bear with me. That is not what you're sharing. You lying. Yeah, when I tell y'all this thing acting crazy, Lord Jesus, get off the devil in the name of Jesus. Cause this thing is not doing what I needed to do. And I'm holding on. Lord, give me strength. There you go. Okay. So if you y'all forgive me for sounding like a psycho. But look at Diddy when he was younger. He was nerdy. He was not a thug, which I don't think he ever tried to, make people believe he was a thug, but he hung around thugs. And when you see him in the documentary, he his conversations are like, oh, effing this, and I'm, and I get what I want type mentality. I got it, whatever I want, I gotta get it. And you kind of see that all throughout his career. The documentary shows that he would go after women that belonged to high stakes men. Like he took a woman that was when he was first an assistant for the record label. He worked with Heavy D and the unibrow. What's his name? I can't think of his name, but he took a singer's girlfriend, right? The Porter. She was originally with another singer. I'm having brain fart after brain fart. So y'all hang in there with me. But he was one of those guys that if whatever he wanted, he had to have. But I thought that was so interesting. It exposed so much about how his career kind of took off. Oh yeah, there you go. Thank you. Okay, let me get to the comments because it's helping me out. Thank y'all. Yeah, he was a background dancer. Yes, in multiple videos you could see where he was dancing for various artists. He danced for Heavy D and a couple of other artists. Greetings, Marjorie, and everyone here. Hope all is well. I've always said that Diddy had something to do with Tupac. We've always heard that. Kim Porter, thank you. I will call her Nicole. Yeah, Kim Porter. Kim Porter was with Al B. Shore. Was that it? That's the right one. It's a blonde chick. I'm mixing them up. It's so much drama and so much juiciness. I can't remember who's with who, but he was trying to shed his nerd status. He was. I'll Be Sure was almost took out as his book and about to come out, and it was detailed about Diddy. Yeah, I bet, because I never do any of this. Me neither. All of this was so informative. It's a great documentary. So if you could, I think it's worth watching. Diddy was always awkward. He was definitely overcompensating and bitter. Absolutely the vibe I got. He went to Kim Porter, Al B. Sure. That's right. Okay, so that's right. Kim Porter was Al B. Shore's ex. And then the blonde chick, I don't remember her name. She was an ex of Suge Knight. So he went after, yes, Al B. Sure. Thank you, what a man, because thank y'all for coming through, because I'm hype about this because so many YouTubers are talking about it, but nobody watched it. They're talking about it and they're only talking about what's on the news, but nobody watched it. So I'm sharing my genuine thoughts about what I saw, and because I actually watched it. But he said you didn't have to have accusations to be part of the show. BS. Okay, so this lady, one of the people, that's not what I'm sharing. Y'all, this thing is not sharing what I'm sharing. Okay, so this lady, she was one of Diddy's assistants. She tells a story that the jury did not buy. The jury, this is one of the things the jury talks about. She implies that, so there was an incident that Cassie had a crush on what was his name? Scott somebody. Y'all help me out with these people names. Lord Jesus, help me, Lord. But where she claims that Diddy kidnapped her to go to an artist's house to unalive him. Mind you, she said he had a weapon. But that's her testimony, and she's crying. Everybody's crying. All of a sudden, everybody's so victim, and they're so terrified for their lives. But none of this came out until 30 years later. Okay, whatever. But she implies that Diddy kidnapped her. She was his assistant. Mind you, she continues to work for him. Okay, all these people with all these accusations, but nobody is quitting. People continue to work for him. Ryan Leslie was dragged by Diddy because he was close to Cassie. Yeah. It was so many. It was so many people. There was so much drama. But she implies, okay, yeah, Diddy kidnapped me. He drove me to Kid Cudi. Oh, he drove to Kid Cudi. He was gonna unalive him, but whatever, because Cassie had a crush on him. Everybody's all distraught. But as far as I'm concerned, all these people are volunteers, including Cassie, including this lady, and another gentleman that attempted to accuse Puffy of everyone is accusing, men and women, accusing Puffy, Diddy, of essaying them. This other gentleman, if I can find if it'll share what I'm looking for. Please act right. Please act right, Jesus. Okay, this is from Aubrey O'Day. I'm trying to, y'all. I'm struggling, y'all. Please be patient with me because this thing is giving me a hard time on purpose. I feel like it do not want me to talk about this. It do not want me to talk about this because it's showing stuff that that I'm trying to show, and it's not showing what I wanted to show. Aubrey O'Day, she was part of one of the groups that Diddy put together. She was another interesting accuser. Okay, no, that's not the one. So this is another one of Diddy's assistants, a man that accused Diddy of essaying him. Okay, this is another one. Let me see. Where's the next one? He's one of the founders of let me see, of Diddy's record label. Good grief. He's another one accused Diddy of essaying him. I believe that all these people came up with these accusations because Diddy didn't pay them. Diddy stopped paying them. That's what I believe. That's what it looked like because that was everybody's biggest issue. Oh, this is Aubrey O'Day. So she tells a story. That allegedly someone told her. Y'all listen to this. She says somebody told her that they saw her unconscious with Diddy essaying her with another gentleman performing oral activities on her while she was unconscious. Now, according to her, she doesn't recall. She doesn't recall the incident herself. No. She only knows what somebody told her they saw. Okay. So if I'm graped by numerous orifices in my body, let's just say, I have no recollection or side effects or pain or I don't know, something giving me like, oh, you know, my head is sore, I have a headache, or my mouth, my jaw is sore, my throat. Something telling me that something's not right. She didn't say that. No, 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 no. All she said was someone told me that they saw me unconscious and Diddy was doing this and another one was doing this, but they couldn't. And I had to ask them, "Are you sure it was me?" What in the world? Are we serious? Are people for real? This is legit. This is your legit testimony. And mind you, the person who she says told her that this is what they saw was not in the documentary telling what they saw. So I'm questioning all these people's motives. Everyone want to make Diddy out to be the monster, but guess what? You too were using Diddy. These people were using Diddy just the same as he was using them. Because if all these people thought he was such a horrible man, how was he able to get away with all of what he was doing for so long? That's what I don't understand. This is why I'm so up in arms about this, because you know, victim, oh, Cassie's a victim. No, she's not. And just like they showed in the two jurors. Let me see, the two jurors that they show at the end of this news clip. Where is it? They show the two jurors, and the woman said neither of them bought any of Cassie's testimony. They didn't buy it. No, not the man or the woman. Because the man is like, we're watching footage of him abusing her, beating her, they're fighting, and then the next day they're going out to dinner. They're getting dressed, going out to dinner. And the man is like, you need two hands. You need one hand doesn't clap by itself. You need two hands to make a noise. He's basically saying, like I say, it takes two people to keep some mess going on. And I don't believe Cassie was a victim. She was a volunteer. Why? Because all these people were so impressed by lifestyle. So all these people sold their souls for the money and the lifestyle that Diddy provided them. Because it's interesting to me that as soon as he was no longer able to, as soon as he wasn't throwing bills no more, all of a sudden, oh, I'm a victim. He did this to me and he did this to me. Look, you was eating at the table with him. You were applauding him and in studios with him for years. For years. Okay. Oh my goodness. Okay. Travis said, don't get me started about how he did the band, Day 26, Craig Mack, Black Rob. Okay. But none of these people are in the documentary. Do you understand what I'm telling you? See, this is my issue. Which we know Craig Mack has passed on, you know, God bless him, because he used to beat the 0 to 100 when Diddy won it for some reason. Craig Mack was not, he didn't, you know, he's passed on. Black Rob wasn't in it. Day 26 wasn't in it. The band wasn't in it. They're not in the documentary. I hate being the technology struggle bus. I know. Good Lord. Help me, Lord. I'm just praying because I got so much to say, but I'm trying to hold on because please help me. Yeah, they're all users in my heart. They were all users. And then when they couldn't use him anymore, when he stopped paying, which was his fault, which is because I'm pretty sure if he continued to pay out the ducats, they would have kept their mouth shut. But when he started getting greedy, I got children calling. When Puffy started getting greedy and decided he gonna keep more money for himself, that's when everybody all of a sudden and people saw Cassie get paid. She accuses him of assault, which, as you saw, assault, abuse was not one of the charges. Domestic violence was not one of the charges. Okay, mind you, they saw videos of him abusing Cassie, but this wasn't one of the things that he was charged with. So Diddy made Suge look like a good guy, bro. But everything that Diddy did, he learned from people like Suge Knight. He learned from these record label, the big dogs, right? The white men that we don't that we're not allowed to talk about, or it's, these Jews that are running the record labels, we're not allowed to talk about them, right? Or it's anti-Semitism, to tell the truth about these Jewish the heads of these record labels. So I'll hold off on that. This is one of the reasons why I never got into the industry. I had opportunities when I was younger, but knowing what I know now, praise God that things never worked out. Amen to that. Sure wasn't by himself. Absolutely not by himself. Diddy had a lot of inside connections and info to bury folks if anyone tried him. Yes, absolutely. So Diddy's dancing on that documentary was looking like a spell by a warlock. Yeah, crazy. Yeah, crazy. Diddy sold his soul decades ago. Lord Jesus. And I believe that the incident with the college stampede, I believe that is what I believe set him off. I believe that this was his initiation, because when you sell yourself to the devil, there has to be a sacrifice or sacrifices, and I believe that this was one of his sacrifices, because this is this is how and when he became famous, was this incident here. So that's what I believe, truly and truly. And let me see. Many of those artists are being silent either because they are still scared or those NDAs are still valid. So whatever the case may be, the people who should have been on there were not on there. Like Total, I would have loved it, because I remember hearing Total back in the day saying Diddy wasn't paying them. I remember hearing who's Peaches and Cream, 112 talking about Diddy didn't pay them. All these people that we used to hear say Puffy was not paying us, they were not in the documentary. It was a whole bunch of new folks that needed their 15 minutes of fame, is what I got from it. I didn't get genuine trying to expose Puffy. To me, they exposed themselves. Because if Puffy was such a terrible man, why did you continue to work for him? Right? Why? If he's such a terrible man, why am I going to continue to work for him? Because he's paying. Or Jaguar Wright said Jay-Z is setting Diddy up. She be all over the place. She got information nobody else has. I don't know how much of her stuff is real. But this is one of the emails that Aubrey O'Day said. Good Lord. This is one of the emails that Aubrey O'Day said that Puffy sent to her. I don't want to F you. I want to turn you out. I make my women do what I tell her to do, and she loves it. I just want to blank and like blank to do things different. I'm a finish watching this corn and finish thing. I'll think of you, happy face. If you change your mind and get ready to do what I say, hit me, happy face. God bless. And Diddy, God is the greatest. And he talks about God a lot in the documentary, which is kind of scary, because it's like, what God is he referring to? We don't know. But so she's reading this email that he sent to her, allegedly, but you continue to work for him. This is what aggravates me with people who purport to be victims. Someone gives you an ultimatum and says, either do this for me or leave, or if someone gives you an ultimatum, sleep with me or do these sexual favors or what have you, or you lose your job. If you choose to stay and perform the sexual acts, you are a volunteer. I don't care what nobody say about, oh, well, I got to pay bills and I got to take care of you made a decision. Nobody is putting a gun to your head to perform acts, to keep a position, to keep up a lifestyle. That is a decision you made. But everybody wants to pin Diddy out like a monster. Look, you volunteered to continue to work for that monster. I'm not a victim blamer, because my definition of a victim is someone who has no control of their environment, i.e. children, okay? Or adults that are handcuffed, right? If you're in prison, right? And the police and the staff harm you, okay? I can see those situations as victimizing. These people with these accusations are not victims. They're volunteers. They're fully aware who Diddy was and what he was capable of. And even if they weren't, when they initially started working with him and for him, when they found out, they did not leave. They continued working for him. There's so much going on in this documentary. I can't even and then this guy, this producer, let's see if it'll pull up. This thing is not sharing what I'm trying to share. So are we ready to? All right, come on. Okay, so this producer, he was another one that you see him in footage. He's dancing and singing with Puffy, Diddy, whatever. He's like, "Oh, you're so great. Oh, you're such a wonderful artist. It's all praises." And then he shares audio of Diddy refusing to pay him. Okay, fine. He also accuses Diddy of some kind of sexual situations, uncomfortable sexual situations. Okay, fine. But to me, it seemed the biggest issue for him was not getting his money. He didn't emphasize, he's like, "Oh, I lay in the bed and got up one day and Diddy was laying next to me." It was about the extent of the sexual stuff with Diddy for him. He was more upset about not getting paid, which is understandable. I get it. You do production work. You're a producer. You see your work get put out, get sold, and you don't have a check. I would be upset too. But my concern is, why does that have to be accompanied with sexual accusations? Why? You know what? I can't say one way or the other if they're true or not. I don't know. Diddy seem like a freak a leak on all fronts. So I can't say that these accusations are true or not. It's just funny to me. That when people don't get the money they want, or the luxury that they want, or that they're not allowed to continue the luxurious lifestyle that they were hoping to have while working with Diddy, all of a sudden, all these accusations that happened years ago, all of a sudden are an issue. And I think, like, me and my husband were having this conversation, and I think, like my husband said, he said it when it first came out, when Cassie got her money. He paid Cassie out. My husband said everybody gonna come out the woodwork now, and which was absolutely true. He has at least 100 civil suits against him. I don't know how many are winning or losing or what have you, but everybody came out and said, "Oh, is this what I got to do to get my money?" Because he owe a lot of people money. So they figure, if I got to come out and accuse you of some sexual act to get paid, then that's what I'm gonna do, and that's what it looked like they did, men and women, to get their money. Oh, you got the money to pay her 35-40 million, so where's my money? So, I gotta come accuse you of some nonsense, so that's what I'm gonna do. As far as I'm concerned, all these people sold their soul, every last one of them. Him, her, him, all these people, this lady, every last person that accused Puffy of something sold their soul. Not just Diddy. So the whole thing is still mind-blowing, and this only scratches the surface. Oh yeah, for sure. I'm mind boggled, because if he's such a terrible guy, how was he able to get away with it for so long? Because he was paying people. Oh, wrong one. He was paying people until he wasn't. That's what it sounds like to me. All these people are out to get their money, and I get it. Get your money, but I don't understand, why do I have to make up accusations to look like a victim, is what I don't understand. How hard is it to just be like, "Look, you know what? I did some work for Diddy. He never paid me. I did all this work for him. He I didn't get my money for the services I performed, non-sexual. He didn't pay. What's wrong with that? Why I got to be all this extra stuff? That's what doesn't make sense to me. Oh, and his mother. I'm going to say this last thing and I'm going to run up out of here because I had to get this off my chest. But Diddy's mama, that interesting lady, she is fascinating. She's fascinating because what they're not telling is what they do show is how Diddy was raised. And his mother was always having parties. Diddy's mom was a partier. They said she had massive parties in her house. So this is what he was used to. It's not sharing what I'm trying to share. Get out of here. So the parties that Diddy had, he was raised around. It was not new to him. Good grief. Okay, I gotta let me. So it does show more about his mother, and I thought the information about his mother was um you know what I mean? It was enlightening, I should say. Getting to know a little bit more about his mother, I thought was very enlightening. She's a fascinating woman, but she was abusive. And she had no problem saying so. Oh my god, did you guys hang on? Y'all are so sweet. Oh my gosh. Y'all, I am Lord, give me strength. I am about to get up out of here. I just wanted to talk about his mom. What did y'all say? Dang, he's getting too good. Then he must work with it. I know he got some channels. It gotta be. Y'all, it's so funny. It's so true though. Like, what in the world? What? I could not even get back on stage. I was not playing with y'all. Like, my sister has been acting crazy. Okay, I'm gonna just say this because this do not want me out here. Do not want me on here talking about Diddy. I'm saying too much real stuff. It's too real. I'm saying way too much real stuff. But um, Diddy's mom, again, she was an interesting character. She was. They tried to brush it under the rug, but a lot of her lifestyle, I believe, bled over into Diddy's into how Diddy lived. I wish I could find some better picture of her. That's what I the what I got from it. That he lived the life that his mother presented to him. I'm on audios. Let me check this real fast. Oh, y'all help me, Jesus. All I've been doing is praying because Lord have mercy. We get audio situated. But his mom is very openly expressive that he got a lot of beatings. And I got, again, like I said, I got nerd from him. And I think, like Chavis said, he was trying to overcompensate for what he was lacking. And I believed that he had a lot of jealousy for the artists. Oh, that's why he changed my microphone. There you go. I had to get my life situated, y'all. It came to me. It came off to me like he had jealousy for the artists that worked for him, like Puffy. I mean, like Biggie. He jealous of Tupac. I'm pretty sure he was jealous of 50 Cent because they had talents that he knew were worth the millions. And said, what a man. It started with him trying to be the top dog at the liquor game. De Leon, the white man was not going to let that happen. No, they was not. They was mad about that. But it it exposes kind of what we already knew with as far as Tupac and Biggie situation go. I always used to hear that he had something to do with Tupac being unalive, and he had something with Biggie being unalive because Biggie was getting tired. So he saw his moneymaker kind of dwindling. Biggie was and it shows that Biggie was afraid. He was afraid to go to California. He knew that his life was at risk. He didn't know why he knew. He didn't know what he knew, but Biggie knew something wasn't right because he expressed the fear that he was about to die before going to California and him being unalived. And he was jealous because Tupac and Biggie were friends. As much as this media wanted to make us believe that Tupac and Biggie were enemies, they were friends. And Puffy was jealous of their friendship. So the whole incident of Tupac going to visit Biggie at a studio and then being shot, and then Puffy's like, "Oh, I had nothing to do with that." We always believed Puffy had something to do with that, but I don't know. I had to express all of that because it's such a huge story of our generation, and I believe Puffy is just paying the consequences for things he just never got caught doing. That's what I believe. And I believe all the people that are accusing him should also do time with him because they were all involved in the very same debauchery and abuse that they accused Diddy of. They're all involved. I don't care. I don't care what victim story they try to tell. The man, the woman, they all want to pin it on Puffy, but they're all just as guilty as Puffy. And I think all those people need to be heavily investigated, just the same as Diddy was investigated, because there's no way that that he's supposedly abusive, that he's supposedly sex trafficking, that he's supposedly laundering money. You know all of this, but you don't speak out until you don't get your paycheck. This is really funny to me. So Biggie was trying to leave Bad Boy. Yes, that's what it looked like. He wanted to roll with Jay-Z and Diddy wasn't having it. I could see that. There's so many moving pieces and so many questions. But I have more questions for the accusers than I do for Diddy. Because Diddy was who he was. And there's no question that he was, loud and rowdy and power hungry. But guess what? People don't have power unless the minions give them the power. The power he had was given to him by the people who wanted the residue and whatever funds and money and luxury he was providing them. They allowed him to have that power, because there's no way that man could have had the power he had without the people that his assistants and the people working for him and the people holding his secrets and the people that were willing to take his money to perform whatever services he told them to perform. So that's my mind of that. Let me know your thoughts. Let me know how you feel about it. Thank y'all for hanging on for that with that little plunder technology. What Demaria said, the technology struggle bus. Lord, from beginning to end, it been a technology struggle bus. This could have been such a clean episode, but it just was not happening. So that mean I did what I was supposed to do. That mean it was an excellent episode. So I thank you guys for hanging in and watching that and listening to that, because it's a lot. So I just hope it makes everyone question their own motives, because as far as I'm concerned, and which I've been through and I've done, if I'm dealing with someone and I realize that their intentions are no longer in my benefit, right, or no longer in my best interest, am I going to continue to deal with them? And if I continue to deal with them and they continue to misuse me and abuse me and take advantage of me, at that point, I am a volunteer. I am no longer a victim. That's what I hope that people get out of this. If I have allowed people to take advantage of me and treat me badly for one reason or another. So I can't be mad at them when I continue to deal with them after knowing their intentions. Because at that point, I'm no longer a victim. I'm a volunteer. If you continue to deal with people that you know don't have your best interests at heart, you are not a victim. You're a volunteer. And that's what a lot of these accusers are. They were volunteers, including Cassie. Said, thank you, Chavez. Thank you. I appreciate y'all for hanging out. John Combs is trying to mess it up. It gotta be. But that's what I hope you get out of it. Blessings to you guys. Don't be a victim. Don't be a victim. Take accountability for every decision you make, because you are physically able to, because you're a grown adult and you have full control of your environment. Don't put yourself in circumstances or situations to be taken advantage of, because then even still, you are not a victim. That's all I want to get through to people. This is what I learned from this, and this is what I hope you all learn from this. Otherwise, Lord, glad I got through that. Jesus, help me, Lord. Help me, Lord. Praying for all of you, praying for all your families. Pray for yourselves. Pray for each other. Pray for everybody you come in contact with, and pray every day, all day, and keep flying with the Most High. And email the purpose at Burning Hearts Coaching if you're wanting one-on-one coaching. I'm working on so many things as far as business wise. So stay in tune, stay in touch as I have things moving and everything going. So Chavez said, we're gonna like baby oil in the store. Have a great night. We're gone like baby. Okay. Yeah, it's crazy. I needed this. Oh, good. I'm so glad it spoke. I'm so glad it spoke to you, and I hope it spoke to everyone. So again, I'm still offering one-on-one coaching services if you want confidence building, relationship, communication, coaching. Hit me up. Email me at purpose at burningheartscoaching.com, and I'm happy to hold your hand and build up your confidence, help you become the man or woman God called you to be. If you want to be married, so that you are prepared for marriage, get prepared for marriage, get the tools you need to become the husband or wife you need to be. So otherwise, I'm gonna let y'all go. I love you guys. Lord, I'm wore out. That wore me out because I could not get done what I was trying to do. But y'all continue to pray for me, and I love you guys. Deuces.